Okay, yeah, so let's kick it off. We were just sitting talking before we pressed record on this, kind of about how it's a little weird that we're going to be having this conversation here on YouTube.
Yes.
You'll understand why when we get into it, because it's going to be focused on like kind of, modern music learning, modern instrument learning, if you're learning a bass or a guitar, keys, drums, fill in the blank, but definitely one of those instruments. I think there's things have changed a lot over the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years. And it's an interesting conversation for us to have, Ian, because because what I was saying earlier, I was like, we're part of the problem.
Yeah.
We're part of the problem. Maybe in terms of bass, we're like the eye of the storm. Do you know what I mean? Like, with the actual, yeah.
In terms of the dark side of YouTube learning?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, because I think that there's, I think that on YouTube, there's, I think it's an incredible platform. Holy shit. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, it is an incredible platform for so many reasons. And I expect that you agree. I know that you watch a lot of YouTube videos.
I do.
Listen,
I watch a lot of YouTube.
Everybody's going to be watching this. Hey, everybody out there, do you know what I mean? Give us a shout in the comments. Give me a shout out. And so you guys as well love watching YouTube videos, right? But the downside is that there is there's a real dark side to YouTube when it comes to learning a musical instrument that. Well, I've got 8 points that I'm going to take you through actually, because I'm organized.
Dude, you got it locked down today.
Yeah, I've thought a lot about this because I struggle with it. I struggle with it in two ways. I struggle with it in terms of me thinking about I hope that we're not causing people issues with their learning and their musical journey. And then I also, I struggle with it because I do ask that question sometimes, and you guys will understand why when I get into this. And then the second thing is I actually struggle with it for myself from the other perspective as a viewer trying to get shit done, trying to learn something, whatever it is, fill in the blank. I actually struggle on that side as well. So it's a kind of sort of it's a tricky one for me as well. Can we just be honest for a minute? Bassline creation can feel like black magic sometimes, right? You're not supposed to just play the root note over and over, but when it comes time to actually create something, you second guess, you feel stuck, and somehow whatever you play all just kind of sounds the same. You know what I mean? Well, that's exactly why I created a brand new free workshop. Inside, I'm going to walk you through my bassline stacking system, which is a dead simple formula to build basslines that sound incredible. And not only that, you're going to be building real bass lines with me in 5 different styles of music: pop, blues, reggae, rock, and funk. You're going to walk away knowing exactly how to create better bass lines instantly, even over more complex chord sequences, how to adapt your bass lines across all of the styles, and finally stop asking, what should I play here? Oh, and it's totally free to join the workshop. To get instant access, just click the link in the description down there, or just go to basslinecreationworkshop.com. Learn the formula, build the bass lines, and start sounding the way that you know you can do. And then just in case anybody's thinking, well, why even have this conversation on YouTube about YouTube and about how we could be part of the problem? The reason is because we give a shit about your bass playing. Like, the reason I started this channel 14 years ago is because I give a shit. I am massively enthusiastic about education, specific music education. It's music has been my life since I was 13 years old.
Same.
It's a good bloody job because there was nothing else I was good at.
Same.
And then in terms of teaching, I've been teaching since I was teaching guitar at 16. And then I was started, playing bass around 17 or 18 years old. I was teaching, not so far past that. And then also my dad was a great teacher as well, not of music, but he was a great golf teacher, actually. And I can remember just watching my dad teaching golf and how he used to talk about like how to speak to people, how to break down complex, how to meet people where they're at, right? And break down complex ideas and things into these easily digestible things. That all comes from my dad, basically, like watching him do that. And then also being in a situation where I was at maybe, there's a certain music workshops that I went to, and Alain Caron, for instance, I can remember being at a workshop of his when I was maybe 16 or 17 years old in Carlisle with my friend Lawrence Blackadder. Shout out to Lawrence. And he broke down modes, and I'd been trying to figure out modes for a year, like, well, not years, because I was only 16, come on, but like probably like 3 or 4 years I've been trying to figure out these things called modes. And Alain Caron, he just nailed it in like a minute, and I was like, whoa. And so I've just got like such admiration for people that are great educators. And so I really, really care about people getting better on the bass, their journey on the bass, and giving them the right information at the right time and all of that stuff. I really care about bass education. That's why I wanted to make the video. Yeah. Kind of, right? Even though in a way, the question I'm asking is, are we kind of the problem as well? You know, am I creating a problem?
Yeah. Well, and I want to say something about teaching too. Isn't there this incredible thing that happens when you see a concept land with a student, or you see a concept land with, you know, it feels, and you know that you've communicated that concept effectively. Yeah. And they're like, oh man. I mean, sometimes that moment gives me goosebumps. Oh, yeah. Like when there's somebody that's like, oh, and I was just talking to a friend about this the other day, that all of the information out there is the same. There's one major scale, right? It's not like, well, you have, it's right. It's not like, oh, you have a major scale and then someone else has a different major scale. Nope. There's one. But so all the info is the same. It's how that info is disseminated. It's how it's communicated. And it's who you want to spend your time with, right? As a student, or who you're forced, or, you know, who you happen to spend your time with, you know, like when you're at school you go to, forced. Right? Yeah. But as an adult, or as, you know, maybe even a young adult, you're maybe not forced anymore. And so then you have choices. And I think that sometimes you go on YouTube thinking, oh, I'll just learn how to do it all on YouTube. I have the choice. I can bounce around and make any decisions I want. I'm not in school anymore. So look at me. I've got free will and I'm choosing. And sometimes at the end, I want to talk about a couple of bright sides of YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the bright sides of YouTube. And then also I'm going to sort of like lay out all of these ways that YouTube and Instagram, TikTok, but I would say sort of like, you know, if there was a pie chart, 80% of this will be focused on YouTube and then 20% on Instagram and TikTok, right? Like most of this is focused on YouTube. But then let's cover the bright spots. And then also I want to give you like, okay, Scott, you've got these sort of like 8 reasons, you know, that YouTube might not be that great for me. And now what? Right. So we've got, we've got some stuff. Right. And interestingly, I'm going through this situation personally, like in a few different ways, but then my kids are as well. So I've got my kids are doing stuff. So, you know, like Winter's just picked up ukulele. She's also playing bass. Story plays piano. Like, so, and they have learned from YouTube, right? But there's other like, I'm not gonna get to it now. We'll get to it when we get to it after my 8 points. But all that to say, I'm not going to leave you high and dry. Just be like, oh, cheers, Scott. Thanks for sort of like the doom and gloom today. This isn't all about doom and gloom. And also it's about just sort of like knowing what's going on, being aware. You know what I mean? Like awareness is so important that you actually understand. So for instance, I'll give you everybody put your virtual hand up in the air right now if you feel like you're playing stuck in a rut, right? So I'm just imagining a few hands going in the air, or put your hand in the air right now if you don't feel like let me put it this way. Put your hand in the air if you've been playing for a while, but you don't think that your playing matches up with how long you've been playing for.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Like, that's an interesting one. How many people playing out there like kind of confused? Like, I've
been playing for 20 years. And
all along.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been playing for 12 years. How come I'm not any good? So all of the problems that I'm going to go through in terms of YouTube will be not helping you in that regard. There's definitely sort of like certain things about learning on YouTube that won't be helping you out. So jumping into the list, number one, okay, the illusion of progress. The illusion of progress. The illusion, or it could be also framed as this, the illusion of feeling like you're doing the work. So,
shit, I know. So is this like when you watch a video about something and you think, oh, I've consumed that content, therefore I must know it.
Yes.
But you don't know it.
So, and this is like this is like a wildfire in music learning, and has been actually since, I would say, since the advent of YouTube. And I've spoken to so many music teachers about this, especially instrumental teachers, guitar, bass, drums, that students will turn up and they will have all of this knowledge. They will know more than any student knew like 15 years ago.
Right.
It's like, holy shit. Like they're telling you about the modes and the like tritone substitution and like they know more than me. Right. And then they play and you're like, oh, they can't play.
They can't play.
Yeah. So it's this illusion of progress, or this illusion that you're doing the work, when actually what you're doing is absorbing information. You're consuming information through video, and it's giving you that feeling because of dopamine. You're feeling like good about it. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, this is great.
It feels so good.
It's like it's like the bass or the guitar or drum version of just sitting on the toilet scrolling through Instagram. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
right?
Of course.
It's that same thing, but it comes with this illusion that you're actually doing the work. You know? And I see this with my son. I'll be like, hey, he'll have a project he's working on. Sorry if I keep taking this back to my kids, but it's interesting that I see these types of behaviors with my kids all the time. He's got a project he's working on, right? Let's say he was doing, this is a great one actually. So recently he's been getting into cameras, okay? And he's been doing he's going to school a couple of days a week, doing that. He's in a cool hippie democratic school, which is another conversation. And they want him to do like a trailer for the school. So he's been researching cameras. Yeah. He's been doing all the like. Do you want to know how many videos he's watched?
How many?
30, 40, hours. Do you know how much time he spent on the camera?
How much time?
Less than an hour. I would actually say less than half an hour. Less than 30 minutes.
Because it feels great to just watch those videos and you kind of fool yourself into thinking that you've got the knowledge and now you can just do it.
Yeah. Well, so it's actually more, it's like, it's complex why it happens. It's not just because of that. It's not just because my son is just sort of like, I just want to watch videos all the time instead of like doing the, actually picking up the camera. We're going to get into that in this next point, okay, and why it happens, okay? It's point number 2. YouTube's goal versus your goal is completely different. Yeah. It's completely different. Your goal, Ian, or my son's goal, right, is to learn how to do video, right, and do this. He's got this project for school that he wants to do. Or for somebody watching this video, their goal is to learn bass, get better on the instrument, level up. Right. YouTube's goal is to, by any means possible, keep you on their platform for as long as possible.
Yes.
Because that is their business model. It's to get you to consume as much content as physically possible.
Yes.
That's their only goal.
Because they advertise to you.
Yes, because that's how they make money, by serving you ads. They don't want you to watch the video and then press pause and then go and, okay. They don't want my son to watch this video and press pause and then go and do the thing, right? They don't want that. So you've got two conflicting goals in like direct opposition with each other. You know, you want to get the information and then you need to go apply it. YouTube want you to get the information and then consume more information and consume more information. Like you're sticking a greasy burger down your gullet. You know, like that's what they're looking for. They just because, and I'm not, hey, no shade on YouTube. It's an incredible platform. But my point is that there are these interesting dynamics that happen. And this is definitely one of them. If my it's my wife texting me, telling me what to do. My point is, if you were consuming that video content somewhere else, it would be different because the goals might be more aligned. So that's point number 2, right? Point number 3 is distractions and monetization. And this is kind of directly related into point number 2 is YouTube's algorithmic suggestions, right? So that's how they're keeping you on the platform by, feeding you all of these algorithmic suggestions.
The For You page.
Yes, exactly, right? The For You page. Again, put your virtual hand in the air, everybody. If you went to YouTube, okay, you go to YouTube with all of the best intentions. I'm going to practice my scales. I'm going to sort this muting thing out. This B string just rings like crazy. And you go and then half an hour later, you're like, oh, what am I on YouTube for?
I know.
You're like, what?
Yeah.
What happened?
And I would argue too that I don't know how many people are even searching anymore, right? You show up, unless you have a very specific thing, unless you're like, show me how to light the pilot lights in my furnace. But if you're not doing that, you're going and you're just scrolling the For You until you see something that gets you. You click it, right? So they're serving that to you. And you're consuming. I'm doing that.
The algorithm understands you, not Ian. I'm pointing about you, viewer. They understand what you click on,
right?
And they're going to feed it up. They're going to feed it up in that. So you might have all of the best intentions in the world. You're going to sit there and watch the video, but in that right-hand column right there is all of this other stuff that the algorithm knows that you are going to click on. Hence why you go on YouTube to try and fix your muting on your B string and you end up watching cats being thrown into snow. Whee! Woo! You know what I mean?
Or another bass video about something else.
Exactly.
Or gear videos, right? I mean, just like, what is it? It's whatever you like. It's whatever you click on. It's there for you.
Yes. And here's the interesting, just sort of like insider knowledge that nobody, if you're not a YouTuber, you won't know this. You'll have suffered through the pain of it, but you won't understand why it happens, right? So as a YouTuber, when you upload a video, you publish it on YouTube, okay? Oh, God, I think YouTube's going to just like bury this video. Hopefully not, you never know. But I'm just, maybe. We'll see, maybe. So as a YouTuber, when you post a video, okay, some of your videos are going to pop and they're going to get a lot of views. And some of them are going to die and never going to see the light of day. And the number one contributing factor to that, there's actually 2 contributing factors, but the most important one is click-through rate. Mm-hmm. Click-through rate, CTR, right? It means how many people, when they see your thumbnail, are going to click it. So let's pause for a minute. What do we think that makes every YouTuber do with their thumbnail for the most part?
They want to make it so irresistible and eye-grabbing and sensational and ridiculous that you notice it first.
Why do you think that like Ian and I have got like our faces like this on thumbnails? All of this shit, right? Just to put it out there, we do this because that's the game that it's like we walked onto the football pitch, we're playing football, right? That is the game that we're playing.
Because if they don't click, Scott, what do they not do?
Well, they don't watch the content, and then YouTube doesn't share. If nobody clicks the video, nobody watches the video, YouTube basically buries the video.
And can you imagine, because of all the time and energy and money and effort and blood and sweat and tears you put into a video, right?
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
Nobody sees it. Oh,
nobody
my God.
sees it.
So that's why thumbnails and titles
across all of YouTube now. That's across all of YouTube,
Yes.
right? So let's just remember as well, what's YouTube's primary goal?
keep you eating that content, baby.
Keep you eating the content, because that's their business model. Now, remember, what was that last point? It was like you're sitting there, you're watching, this video to, this is like, it's the evil snowball. That's why I'm pointing this out. You're watching your muting the B string video. God damn, love this B string. You're watching
That's
that.
a good one.
Now, imagine that right-hand column. In fact, some of you might be able to see that right-hand column over there. In fact, some of you are going to look at that right-hand column and you're going to click it.
Right.
Why are you going to click it?
Don't do it.
Don't do it, but because there'll be all of those tabloid-esque thumbnails.
Yes.
Down there.
And titles. Crazy sensational titles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I think it's just important to sort of like point out how interesting that is from a business.
Yes.
Like for YouTube, they're killing it, right? They're like, come on, you know what I mean? They're like,
they're crushing it. And they'll put it on you. They'll say, well, you guys are clicking. I mean, it's not us. You guys are clicking. You're making the choice. You have free will. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's like, my point there with point 3 was distractions and monetization, right? It's that you're putting by using platforms like YouTube, you're sort of like putting your learning in the hands of an algorithm that has completely opposite goals to yourself. Okay, so you've been showing up, you've been practicing, you've been trying to piece it all together. But if you're honest, it kind of still feels like your plane isn't quite clicking. You know what I mean? Sound familiar? Well, this is for you. Welcome to my free 5-day bass breakthrough bootcamp. This is a totally free live training series where I'm going to show you exactly how to finally start connecting the dots in your playing and start sounding like the bass player you know you can be. You're going to be learning why most bass players get stuck and how to finally escape that fragmented trap that you're in. The 5 essential skills every real bass player needs to level up, how to interconnect all of the different elements of your bass playing, why playing integrated grooves is the difference between meh and magic, and how to truly assess your blind spots and build a custom practice plan that's actually going to work for you. You're going to be playing with me live, you're going to be building grooves in multiple styles, and you'll even get the chance to win some special SBL prizes. Oh yes! There's going to be some prizes. Now, to grab your completely free spot and invite for this bootcamp, the link is down there in the description, or just go to bassbreakthrough.com. Come with me on this bootcamp and let's make this the breakthrough your bass playing's been waiting for. Okay, number 4, zero structured progression. So the content on YouTube is not like, when you go to college or school, and there's a curriculum and you sit there and you're like, hey, 4-year-old, here's a pen. Well, here's a pencil. We're going to teach you how to do it. Then you're going to do your ABCs. And like, it's a structured content. Just when you go to music college, just when you go to any college, any school, right, there'll be a structured curriculum, okay? So there's zero structured curriculum on YouTube. And that can be a positive thing in a few ways, but largely it's actually, when you just sit there and think about it a while, it's largely negative for a bunch of different reasons. Okay, and I'll give you a couple of kind of sort of like things that come downstream from this, right? So one would be, and I've had this, like I'll be speaking to a bass player, she's been playing for 3 months. I'm like, oh, well, she's having problems. Like she's hit a brick wall. She's like really frustrated. I'm like, well, what are you working on right now? Well, like I've learned all of the modes, and I'm like, but you've been playing for 3 months, right? Well, yeah, I have been playing for 3 months, but I saw a video on YouTube and it said sort of like 7 easy shapes to help you unlock the fretboard.
Right. Oh God, that sounds like one of our titles for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So you know what I mean? Yeah. So
yeah.
And this is the problem of putting like an algorithm in charge of your learning. It's going to throw information at you, not based on where you are as a player. It's going to throw information at you based on whether you're going to click through or not.
Right. It has it is disregarding your wellness or your trajectory of healthy learning.
Yeah.
It's just saying, oh, you clicked on this? Yeah, let's do more. Let's do more base grimoire, exotic scales.
Whatever the most clickable sort of like titles are, it's going to be putting that in front of you. Okay. So
Right,
that's just,
for sure.
So it really screws up I haven't got a term for it. Let me think for 1 second. Like, it's not systematically, it's the sequencing. That's what it is. Like, how you learn something, the sequencing of it is incredibly
the order in which.
important. It's incredibly important. So I'll give you an example again. I'll use my son. So he's doing this video. Yesterday, he was doing this video at school. We were setting him up with the camera. And I went on, and I found the easiest setting for it. I was like, just put it on auto for now. I was like, not that, there's actually 2 or 3 different autos, not that auto. I was like, because that auto there, that's, you're going to have to mess around with what's called aperture and f-stops. And I was like, you don't want to worry about that stuff right now, right? Just don't worry about that. And he's like, oh, okay. Now, if he was going to let's say like a teacher, or he was going to like a beginner class at a part like college or whatever, right? Same deal. They're going to do the same thing. If you've just picked up the camera, if you're just getting used to how it works, framing it, all of that, they're not going to be like, hey, let's talk about f-stops. But that is exactly what's going to happen on YouTube and more.
For sure.
And more. In fact, I've seen him watching these crazy complex videos, not even like 10,000 feet above aperture, like these crazy videos. In fact, as a parent, it's incredibly hard navigating that. I find it incredibly hard because the stuff they're drawn to is not the boring fundamentals. It's not the stuff that they actually have to learn in that very specific sequence.
But
go on.
You were the same, and so was I.
No, we weren't.
Because
we didn't have YouTube.
But weren't you drawn to, I wanted to get Victor Wooten's super slap crazy bass secret video.
I did.
Dude,
there was
I wanted to learn how to do this.
The difference is that you bought the VHS, you went through it, and then you couldn't do it. I couldn't do it either.
Right.
Like, you got to be able to do it, but you couldn't do it. And then you just had to go back and carry on doing the thing, right?
Sure.
What wasn't happening is every time you went into your bedroom, there wasn't another Victor Wooten VHS. Every single time you went in that bedroom to pick up the bass, there's another not that one that you've just watched, dude. A brand new one. A brand new video. Every single time you walk into that bedroom.
Yeah, that sounds harder.
It sounds freaking hard. And it's interesting because I do think, just sort of like side note, I think that YouTube for certain individuals has increased the speed of learning. You've got these sort of like freak show kids that can play incredibly.
Right.
And I think that has actually got to do with YouTube as well, and that access to that
seeing it.
To seeing it. Yeah, to seeing it. 2 kids that jump out to me. One would be Aaron Hodek. So Aaron, and then also Ellen as well, the bass player. Interestingly though, just as a side note on those, because just in case anybody's like, all kids are, they have like Aaron's brother is an incredible drummer, and Aaron has played like he's been playing with his brother for years. Actually. So he's not just sitting there, munching on YouTube content. And Ellen's dad is a really accomplished musician. So he will be able to, help her navigate around these things. She knows, you and I have sat with her. She knows all the tunes, dude. She does. I know. She knows all the tunes. Okay. So where were we? Was that point number 4? God damn. I hope that this isn't like so doom and gloom for everybody. And it also just gives you insight into how things work on YouTube. And again, just in case I'm bumming you out, there is sort of like, I want to give you something at the end that might some insights of how I'm dealing with it as a parent, and also how I deal with it, even with team members and stuff like that, like how I deal with it with team members, because team members of SPL have to go learn stuff.
Sure.
You know?
Well, and before we move on to number 5, let me just say too, just in the center of this, just to say that if you are brand new to something, right, like photography or like playing the bass, getting the whole picture from YouTube is incredibly difficult, as we're pointing out, right? Yeah. Like, because they're feeding you these things, it's out of order. But something that is amazing, and I think something that does sort of inspire and help, is if you need if you need one small thing, you know, if you need to learn the riff to that song for your gig,
it's so good for
right?
that.
Yes, if you have,
yes.
But that presupposes that you have trajectory set. Like if you're like, hey, I need to learn X thing for my gig, just like, hey, I need to learn how to light the pilot light for my furnace, that is a very specific task that suggests you're already on your way. You have a home with a furnace. You have a gig as a bass player.
It's not going to turn you into a plumber.
Yeah, right.
You're not going to be able to install a furnace.
That's right.
Which is what you need to be able to do on the bass. Like, just to use them two comparisons. Yes, you can learn the riff, but like that doesn't make you a bass player. It makes you be like, you can play a riff. It's like you can do these tiny little things.
Or if you're already a bass player, right? Like if you're a pro or you're playing at church or you're doing wedding gigs or whatever, right? Then learning something off of YouTube totally makes sense. But if you're like, I learned this thing off of YouTube, but I don't know how this all connects. Right? Yeah. Like if you're in that part of your journey of like, I can play a couple of riffs, can play a few things, but I still, if I'm honest, kind of feel like a beginner.
Yeah, well,
you know,
in that way, what we're talking about now is the individuals that have been playing for,
like we said at the beginning,
1, 2, 3 to let's just put it out there to 3 decades plus, and
yes,
and you still play the same. If I had a pen, I'd draw something that really nails it. Actually, I've got this like a diagram. Oh.
Do you have a pen? Are you going to draw the diagram?
Yeah, it might be. Let me just stick with me. Everybody that's just thinking about clicking on that cat video being thrown into a snow over there. Okay, we're going to have two.
No one is getting that fed to them.
Okay,
that's watching this.
Just bear with me, right? So up the left-hand side here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus, right? And then along the bottom is skill level. Let me just hold this up.
Vertical is years. Horizontal
Can you see
skill.
That?
Yeah.
Yeah. So up here, this is the years played. Along the bottom is skill level. Okay.
You would think that the number of years, the higher the year,
this is what we all want to happen. This is what we all want to happen, and actually can. Just let me put that out there.
Yeah, it can be true.
Well,
but we want.
I'll add. There's a little sneaky thing I'll add to it after that. This is what we think is going to happen.
Just that beautiful graph. It's like the graph emoji. It just goes up, baby. We're just winning constantly.
The more years we play, these are the years we've played, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus, right? The more years we play, the better we get.
Matches that skill level.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And
that's
it's interesting.
What it should be.
This would be, oh man, I've gone down this rabbit hole. But, so this is what happens for a lot of people.
Oh no. You're drawing a different curve, I can tell. I haven't seen it yet though.
Oh, hang on.
He's drawing a different curve.
Wait a minute, that would be up.
Oh, he screwed up the curve.
How do I, oh, it's not making sense on my skill levels up there. Oh, it needs to go up the other side. Hang on. It goes up here. I should have
we
done
gotta
years
get
on the bottom. I should have done years on the bottom. Okay.
Ooh,
This
that
is what
looks
happens.
Not so good.
Okay, I should have done years on the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, your skill level gets to about here and then never passes there. You never get over here.
You plateau.
You plateau, and it stays like that. That's what actually happens to a lot of people.
Just turn it like this. Just flip the page like this. Yeah. See, so there's your years. There's your skill level. Bonk,
Like
just
that.
Goes.
Yeah. There's the years.
just-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going along there.
Yep.
But your skill level just stays the same.
So you get to this tiny spot and it just rolls.
Forever.
Right.
And the reason why I mention it is because of that. It's that. I'm just going to learn this little thing here. This riff. I'm going to learn this little riff here. It's like you're not actually learning to be a bass player. You're learning how to play a single, like a nubbin, like a postage stamp. The surface area of being a musician is like wide. It's wide and it's complex. And to do that, in a really fragmented way, like we learn on YouTube, is nigh on impossible. I actually think it's nigh on impossible. I think that you need that sequential, step-by-step, systematic approach. And I'm not to your point. I think it's actually super valuable. We've used it. If I'm like learning something for like a riff or something, I'm going to see if anybody's broken that thing down on YouTube, so I don't have to do that myself for a lesson for you guys. It's going to shortcut it for me, but. Just to put it out there, because we learn a lot of riffs for you guys. I hope you enjoy the riffs. But goddamn James Jameson video,
sausage is made right there.
Yeah. But the downside is that you just never see the full picture. So it's like painting by numbers, but you just end up. So your level never gets. You never become like a full musician. We call them like full stack bassist. You never become a full stack bassist. Because you're just focused on these sort of like postage stamp size kind of like little areas. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It kind of feeds into number 5, actually. Number 5 here is information overload and decision fatigue.
Yeah.
I've put on YouTube, there are thousands of videos on the same topic. Thousands, right? To Ian's point earlier, information it's like the information is there. It's actually gone the opposite. From when Ian and I were younger, I can remember I didn't know how to, I'll give you a practical one. I didn't know how to solo or improvise around a minor 251. I'm using that as an example because that plagued me for so long. Like 2 or 3 years. Like, how do you play over a minor 251? How do I improvise over that now? And I didn't know who to ask. Now it's like the opposite. There'll be 200 or 300 videos, probably more actually, on how to solo around a 251, minor 251. But again, and then you'll watch it and then you'll understand it. Well, you'll kind of understand it. And then you'll feel like, get all the way back to point number 1, your brain will be telling you, the dopamine will be dripping away and you'll be like, oh, I understand it. But you can't do it.
Right.
It's that, it's the illusion. The illusion of doing the work, but you can't actually do it. So number 5 is information overload. Number 6, I'm going to jump through these. I don't want to be too long. Number 6 is, these are obvious ones. Hopefully the ones that we've been talking about have been like less obvious. These are the next 3, 6, 7, or 8 are more obvious. Number 6 is you're not getting any feedback or personalized guidance. That's been really, really crucial to me. It's kind of like, well, you're just not getting any, right? So you don't know whether you're working on the right thing for you right now. And you might not know. We've talked about this before. You might not even know what the problem is. You might not know what's blocking you. You don't even know what the problem is. Yeah. I've done so many video submissions from students, SBL members, that get stuck on something, on a song, on a riff, but they've hit a wall. And they're like, why can't I get past this wall? And it's actually very simple. It's a technique issue. It's a rhythm issue. It's a simple fingering issue, but they can't see it. It's like you're so close to it, you can't take a step back.
You know, your nose is against the fretboard and you're like, why can't I see the whole fretboard?
Yeah.
Because you got to take a step back and someone has to say, oh, look, no. Right? It's this thing that's plaguing you. Try this. And sometimes it's so simple, but since we're siloed in this YouTube algorithm game, we don't have that. We don't have the opportunity. We haven't prioritized that opportunity. We haven't done the work, paid the money to have somebody give us that feedback. You think you can do it yourself, and you cannot.
Yeah, and the cost is super high. The cost is ridiculous.
Of not doing it. The cost of not, right.
That's just the cost of not doing it.
Yeah, it's backwards, but yeah.
Well, I did it that way because it was you. That's the cost of not doing it. The cost of not doing it is you become a bass player who plays for decades and doesn't get any better, and just like your playing just stays the same because it shouldn't do that.
Right.
I am a better player this year than I was last year.
Right.
You know, like I'm a much better player than I was, you know, when I first started out SPL. It shouldn't be like that. You should get better over time. If you are not getting better, it's not because of you. You haven't been sort of like hit with the ugly stick. We've got this ugly bass stick. I bust you.
It's a spell that's been cast on you.
Yeah, it's your approach. It's not you. You know what I mean? There's like, it's that's just the way it is, right? Number 7 is, again, these are more obvious, lack of practice structure and accountability. Lack of practice structure and accountability. You know, there's nobody.
How many people just roll in and you grab your bass and you're just like, yeah, let's see. And you're like, I'm practicing. It's like,
playing that same stuff. You know?
Yeah. I mean, the time spent on the instrument is good. Like, don't hear me saying it's not. Having the bass, even just holding the bass and playing things that you know isn't a bad thing, but it does not lead to like tangible growth. Yeah. It just sort of like maintains you. And that's okay. Yeah. But if you want to get better, there has to be some kind of structure, and not very many people can do it.
It just,
without
really
accountability.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like right? I'm thinking about going to the gym. 47 in a few weeks, dude. Come on, dude. I'm thinking about going to the gym. It's been 47 years since I last went. I've decided it's time to roll back, go back in. Great. And I was thinking to myself, I think that I'm absolutely going to need to have some sort of like coach to sort of like, you know, keep me accountable, because I am just, I'm just not going to do it. There you go. Anyway, right. And then number 8, this is, I think the algorithm, for whatever reason, is good at this part actually, but I'm going to mention it anyway, because I think it's just worth mentioning it. But I do think the algorithm does a good job of floating good stuff to the top in terms of this, right? Number 8 is inconsistent quality in teaching styles. Meaning there are definitely people out there that are teaching wacky stuff, but, you know, because I've seen those videos and teaching things incorrectly as well. But interestingly, I think that the algorithm does a good job of deprioritizing those videos and pushing the videos where good teachers are teaching great stuff. There's so many great teachers on YouTube, so many great teachers. Yeah. Man, I'm just thinking of a few, like, obviously, man, who should we mention that's awesome? Like, obviously there's Mark Smith from Talking Bass, my curry partner. Every time Mark comes up, we go for a curry in Leeds.
Yeah, I mean, I love Fosgreen's videos.
Oh, Josh is Josh great. Fosgreen. Yeah. He's too big though, dude. He's just too big.
You're too tall?
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Too tall, dude. Too tall.
He is so tall. I mean, I'm sorry, Josh. You hear this all the time. Yeah. I have a friend who's as tall as Josh. I mean, you know, like 6'6", 6'7". He used to just carry business cards that he would, if someone said, "Oh, how tall are you?" he would hand him a card and it would have his name and his height.
Amazing. Yeah, just in case they were wondering. Well, Josh he's not only a great bass teacher, but he's also freaking massive. And he's got like all of that beautiful hair as well. Like
he is a lovely man.
Mark's got a full head of grey hair, so he's half kind of like, I can let him off with that, but Josh's hair just thick. Woo! Thick hair, beautiful. Who else? Travis Dykes is killer. I love what Travis has been doing. Philip Conrad's doing some great stuff. I'm going to miss
Conrad is awesome.
Adam Neely back in the day. Hey, I don't mean
I
like, you know,
know.
just because Adam used to, but he was teaching like before he does these incredible video essays, which are incredible. He was just doing like bass teaching videos like me. We were kind of at it at the same time. Yannick's got some great videos out there.
Oh yeah, the Gwiz, man. Yannick Gwizdala.
Tony Gray back in the day, he was uploading some great videos. Shout out to Tony, love you, Tony.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm missing out some incredible teachers. I'm so sorry if I've missed you out. My point is that there are some incredible bass teachers on YouTube, and I think the algorithm actually does a great job of pushing them to the top. Jazz Moss, he's done some great.
Jazz Moss.
Shout out to
great.
Jazz. James E-Bass Guitar, he's done some great videos. Man, there's some great teachers. Anyway, just sharing the love.
PD Bass, man. He does some really good videos.
His voice. Oh God! He could just talk. That's who I want to read me bedtime stories. Like that voice. He's got the sexiest damn voice. What it is? Him and who did I mention yesterday?
Oh yeah, who were you talking about?
Very different voices, but just great voices.
It was a guitar player, long hair.
From Liverpool. God damn. Oh. Anyway.
Oh yeah, it's killing me. Gardner.
Jack Gardner.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a great voice as well.
Whew.
I think
Got out of that one.
I'd take PD Bass over that. But like he's just got a great voice. Great teachers on YouTube. High five to all you guys doing it. Out here on the freaking pitch. Anyway, we've talked through all of the doom.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's not all been doom. I know sort of like the majority of it has been doom, but I just kind of think it's important to point it out because it is like that is modern music learning, modern music instrument learning focuses like a lot on YouTube, and it is just incredible to get you started as well.
Yes.
Like it's incredible to get you started, get you off the starting blocks and into the race. It's incredible. Winter's learning ukulele at the minute. She's been watching ukulele videos. She's like loving it. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So with that, I think that there are great things as well if you're just getting started. But what should people do, Ian? I've got my little list here. But
I mean, is there
anything that jumps to mind for you?
Here. Yeah, I think one thing. I've just been rubbing my eyes this whole time. The pollen.
Have you got hay fever?
Dude, the pollen right now is insane. And so if it just looks like I'm emotional or like tears come down, it's really I mean,
that's
I
how
love
much you care,
Scott,
mate. That's how much you care about our audience.
about
He's just like
about
weeping.
learning.
Yeah, weeping. Freaking.
Oh, so I'm so sorry. I've just been touching my eyes, which isn't making it any better. The thing that I said to you before we started, I think something that is so important. What can people do? One thing that I will say, I think YouTube can satisfy this as well, is inspiration. You need inspiration. And sometimes watching a performance on YouTube, you're like, oh my God, that's incredible. You need to see other humans doing real, amazing, incredible work that resonates with you.
Yeah.
Not only, but you also have to take it off screen. I think YouTube can provide that.
Oh, you've got to get to shows.
You got to go see live music.
Yeah.
You have to listen to music. You have to watch content of music, live performances, and you have to get your ass out of the house and see music live. Every time I do it, I'm never like, ugh, I wish I didn't do this. Every time I see it, no matter what it is, I'm like, oh man, live music is so incredible. My daughter, my wife just took my daughter to see Hamilton on Broadway.
Oh, incredible.
And she got to see that and she loved it. And then she said, then she watched it with her best friend and they were watching like on YouTube or DVD or whatever, right? However they watched it. And I said, oh, how was the movie version? She was like, it was good, but it wasn't nearly the same. And I was like, oh, like, what do you mean? She's like, well, like they'll be rapping and the beat will drop and like you feel like in the space, like you feel the bass drum like here. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, that's so cool. Or she's like, when there's things that happen, like a gunshot or something that goes off in the play, you feel it like it's visceral. You feel it like, and she's like, and you don't on on the little screen.
Not the same.
I said, God, it's so true. Sometimes you get to experience music. Yeah. When it's live, you get to experience it in more of your senses.
Yeah. 100%.
And it's the best. So that's a really big one. You need inspiration, stimulus that can come from screen, but should also come from real. Should come from being in the space.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Get out there and see shows. You'll get nothing but inspiration from it.
Yeah.
The next one, I've got a few actually here. So, is like structured learning. Basically, that's the kind of sort of like the headline of it all. Structured learning. And then I've got more than a couple of subheads here. So what is that? Number one is courses. Now, I'm sure somebody's, okay, dude. All right, Scott, we see what you're doing now.
Right.
Buy my courses. I'm not saying that, actually. There are some incredible free courses that you can go check out. What's that guitar player called? My point here is that there's some incredible free course. There's Justin Guitar. He's a great example. I know that's in the guitar space, but he's got incredible free courses on his website. Andy Guitar as well. Shout out to Andy. So there are websites out there with free courses which are structured. You know what I mean? Like in sequential. Like you're going to be learning the first bit first, the second bit second, and then going through that. And that's so important. So courses. So just to bring it back, just to make sure that you understand that I'm doing this with Story, not related to camera. He's doing coding at the minute. So he's into coding. So the first thing I said, the week he started getting into it, I was like, because he was doing his thing. He was sitting on YouTube doing the thing. I was like,
just watch it.
Have you researched if there's any courses? And he was like, I haven't. I was like, okay, let's go on GPT and we'll ask what courses are available. So we went on there, and it turns out that the best course, if you're just getting started out with coding, is Scratch. This coding thing called Scratch. I was, great. Okay, so I got him in. It's like you could set up an account. It was free, all of that. So he's doing it. He's on Scratch. Like my point here is that it really matters, right? That sort of like sequential approach to learning really matters. Otherwise, the cost is so high, because the cost is that graph that I held up earlier.
Yeah.
You're learning the wrong thing. Oh, hey, let me put it this way. You're learning the right thing at the wrong time.
Sure.
Learning the right thing at the wrong time. Like the individual I was talking about who'd been playing for 3 months and she's learning the modes. Do you think she's feeling great about learning the modes? No.
Probably not.
Do you think she might be feeling discouraged? Yes. Do you think she's feeling confused? Yes. Do you think she can apply that stuff she's learning? No. You know what I mean? The cost is so high. It's way higher than, and I'm saying, like you can get courses for free or buy a course, whatever, right? But courses are a great way to learn. If I'm learning anything, I learn courses. If somebody on the team is what I'm wanting to learn something, right? Shout out to Lydia, right? I'm like literally the last maybe like 3 weeks, I think I've pinged Lydia twice. I'm like, hey, can I buy you this course? Can I buy you this course? I'm not going to say, hey, we've got this problem. Hey, go do this on YouTube.
Right.
Because you know why? Because I pay Lydia.
Yeah.
And if I was like, hey, do this, go learn this thing on YouTube, Lydia, I'm basically telling her to go take the longest, this is going to take you the longest time possible.
Yes.
So for me, I'm like, I've just seen this course, Lydia. Hey, can I buy this for you? Because it's going to teach you this thing in the shortest amount of time possible. It's going to give you the skills that you need to learn. It's going to give you full context. So my point here is that I'm buying stuff as well. Next one is one-to-one lessons are great. So if you haven't got one-to-one lessons, somebody holding you by the hand, it really, really works. The only thing I want to flag here is that it's really important to get a base teacher teaching you, ideally, not a guitar player who teaches bass. That's no shade to all of the guitar teachers out there. Some of my friends are guitar teachers and a lot of them teach bass. The reason that happens is because they're working in schools and the schools don't want to pay 2 people. They want to just pay 1 people. It keeps things simple. Hey, the guitar teachers, they want more hours. They're going to take the gig, right? But so ideally you're going to get, so courses, there's also one-to-one lessons if you want to, they're more expensive than the courses, but you're also going to get more guidance and more accountability built in. But ideally try and find a bass teacher who is a bass player. And then also if you want somebody that is using a curriculum that has some, if you're having the conversation, you're like, hey, what kind of curriculum are we going to use? Like what could the next 3 months look like? They don't give you like a blank stare.
Yeah.
And
I don't know, whatever you want to do. What do you want to learn?
Yes.
Run.
Right. And I've been that teacher on both them sides. When I started teaching when I was 16, 17, like I was like, hey, so what do you want to learn today? I've been that teacher, and then I've been the teacher who's also highly structured and has like curriculum together. So what you want to find is somebody that's a bass teacher, a bass player, and has some kind of structured curriculum that they're going to take you through. The next one is part-time college classes. Everybody's going to be like, oh yeah, Scott, like, like I'm going to go to college. Actually, you can do it in like the part-time college class that I went to, which was music specific. It was only a few hours a week and it was awesome. And obviously it did have a cost as well. Like I think it cost me maybe like £2,000 or something like that. Like it was a couple of £1,000, maybe £2,000 to £3,000, but it was awesome. It was awesome. I was like, I had accountability. There was a curriculum. I was playing with other students. It was awesome, and I could fit it around my life as well. So yes, it was expensive, but it was bloody awesome. And then the only thing on my notes as well that kind of sort of like sinks into that last part-time college classes is get out and play. Get out and play with people. Like just put like little sort of like jam things together. Doesn't need to be anything other than sort of like getting together with friends, learning songs. Like keep this about like playing music, not consuming content.
Yes. Oh, good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
Like really try and be really cognizant when you're slipping into just sort of like content consumption mode, because it can happen so easy. Happens to me all the time.
Yeah,
I'm not up on my soapbox preaching here. I'm just like, I'm down with you guys. I'm like, this happens to me too. I have to remind myself of it all the time. Try and reduce that consumption down and really lean into the doing it, playing with people, but then also making sure that you're putting time in on playing as well. Here's another tip that I haven't written down actually. Really commit to a schedule of playing your bass. Ian, you don't have this. Like you're the opposite, aren't you? You're like, people tell you to put the bass down, but I know that some people out there won't do that. They'll be like, they're in a bit of a funk. They've fallen out of love with the instrument or whatever, right? You can push through that. I'll give you an example. I used to be so into practicing to the point where I'd feel guilty if I didn't practice. But if I went away on holiday for 2 weeks and I got back, the last thing I wanted to do was sit with my bass and practice.
Interesting. It waned.
It went. I had to go through like a week or two of just basically, honestly, like pain. Not physical, but pain of like making myself do it, making myself put the practice in. And after that 1 or 2 weeks, I'm off to the races again. I'm enjoying it. But I just had to sort of like get back up to speed. So if you haven't practiced in a while, when you pick up your bass, let me just put it out there. It might not feel great. You might be like, you kind of need to get into the habit of it. So it really feels like part of your daily routine, and commit to it and commit to it. Not you. What you don't want to be doing, let me just put it out there, is picking up your bass and opening the laptop and thinking, what am I going to do today?
Right. Sure.
What YouTube rabbit hole am I going to do today? Right. Like you can have time for that. You know, I don't want to completely put everybody off watching SPL. You can have time for that.
Yeah.
But if you're truly serious about playing the bass, open the case, get the bass out and commit to, is it like 20 or 30 minutes or more, and try and do that like 4 to 5 days a week and commit to it like you would do going to the gym or something like that. Commit to it and make sure you're playing the bass and not watching videos.
Yeah. And remember, if you have the ability and the what was that?
I don't know.
If you have the situation in your life, if you are fortunate enough to have a space that you can play the instrument and you have a bass and you have a laptop and you have these things and you have 30 minutes in your day that you get to play the instrument, you are so fortunate. And remember that it's gratitude. It is always gratitude. If it's like, oh God, bass, just another thing in my busy schedule that I have to do. Oh, it's the wrong mindset. Yeah. You don't have to practice. You get to practice. One more time. You do not have to practice. You get to. Yeah. And it's incredible, right? Like if you get to practice an instrument, it's unbelievable. And that mindset, I think it's been very important to me to remember to, take a look at the world. Not everyone is as fortunate as you to get to play this instrument. Prioritize 30 minutes a day of your life to get good at something and to enjoy and connect with music. That's incredible.
It will change your life as well.
It will change your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's such a freaking privilege to be able to do this.
It is. It's an incredible privilege. So it is not just, please reframe it. If practicing is drudgery to you, reframe it. Approach it with gratitude. Appreciate the small gains. You don't have to open the laptop like Scott says and be like, all right, today it's all the modes. Small gains, small things. If you're just coming back to the bass, welcome. Just appreciate the small details that you get to put in. If you get a bar of music together, if you get a groove going, that's awesome. Yeah. It does not need to be everything in a day, right? It's small bites. And then just enjoy the time you have with the instrument. It's 100%. It's as simple as that.
Beautifully said, man. Beautifully said. And I will say as well, just in case I just feel like I don't feel guilty, but I will say this. I don't want to be totally doom and gloom about YouTube. Because YouTube, to my point earlier, is awesome. Yeah. What an incredible platform, and how it's changed everybody's lives is so incredible. It's certainly changed my life, and makes everything easier, because if I'm trying to do something, I can go find that solve on YouTube, the furnace, whatever it is.
Yeah, right.
But I think it should be supplementary. If you're serious about learning something,
that's a good call.
It should be supplementary. It's like that. It's a dessert. It's not the main course.
Yeah, right.
Cool. Let's leave it there. Guys, we really appreciate you for watching it. And hopefully by sharing some of these things about how YouTube isn't that great for music learning, I'm not saying, that I don't love you guys. Like, I love you guys, and hopefully you keep on loving the channel as well. I know it's a bit of an odd video for us to put out, but I do think it's just an important conversation to have. And love you. See you in the next one. Take it easy.
Yeah, take care, everybody.